There's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father.
Man, this stuff rocks.
Hey, this is Cold Blood Creep, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father, and as always, bring you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to have the band Cold Blood Creep. Cold Blood Creep has released their self-titled album, and it's out right now, so you want to pick that up. So, guys, please introduce yourself. I know a couple of you guys are not stranger to the show, but go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Jamie, Diablo, Scott Arndt. I'm the singer and vocalist, lyricist.
Tommy B's guitar.
Corby, bass and backups. And then you got Clint on drums.
So how have you guys been doing, and what exactly have you guys been up to during this crazy pandemic other than working on this album? And has there been something else you guys possibly been doing that you might not have thought you would have been doing possibly?
Well, like you said, I mean, probably 4 months ago, we went into the studio to record the new album. We had that done probably like 2 months as far as recording. And probably about a month and a half ago, we finally got it out through DistroKid. And ever since then, we've been hiding in our little blood red shed here, writing new music.
Were you guys a little nervous releasing this debut album in the pandemic right now, or no? Or do you just guys want to get it out real quick so everybody can have it?
No, not at all. We weren't nervous. It was more like we'd like to get it out there because of the lack of live shows. And we're thinking we could fill that void with some badass rock and roll.
It was a blessing in disguise, actually.
And if anything, it's more of like being excited because I could speak for everybody when I say like we're all excited about how things turned out in the studio and everybody's performance was just, awesome. So, of course, you want to get a reaction when you send somebody a rough mix or a song, or so far the reception's been positive.
What's impressed or excited you guys the most about making the self-titled debut album, if anything? What sticks out the most for each of you possibly?
Well, as far as for myself, I know Jamie and I have been in other bands together, so we kind of knew the gist of it. Corby has done it before. Tommy, I don't know. Have you done that before, Tommy?
I actually never cared about a CD. My whole life was built around playing live, and that's what I like to do. And because of the pandemic, we were stagnant and we were bored, and we decided, okay, this is the time to do it. And now that we did it, I'm actually really excited and I'm proud.
I know you said that you've been on the road a lot, but making this album though, is this something that you like doing now other than being out on the road 24/7? I mean, what about the collaboration on this? Was there a lot more collaboration during this album with this band?
The songs were already written. We've played them 1,000 times in shows, and we never put anything out. So with the COVID stuff and everything like that, this was the right time to do it. So we have a ton more new songs, but we put on the songs that our fans know of and they're excited about. So that's what we did.
Any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on the album? I know it must change every time that you guys listen to it or you talk about it. I know these are your babies, but are there any songs that stick out for each of you possibly?
I really like Go Drop Dead. That was a song that we had played live before. And before the pandemic, we played that out a bunch of times. When the pandemic struck here, not being able to play it, we loved that song. We figured we'd put that one on the album. So that'd be my song. For me, I honestly say Best Murder Dress. I was really happy, with my bass parts, for me replacing the previous bass player. And it's apples and oranges. Like his style was different than mine. You're always going to get a different interpretation. And what I thought in my head, what I wanted to, produce
I was proud of the fact that it actually came out exactly what I visioned. And then other songs like Elizabeth, I was really proud of what I added on there. And you're right. I mean, every day my opinion changes. I think the whole album is great, and I'm proud of it,
As far as me, the guitar player, Jackal has always been my favorite song since we wrote it 2 years ago. And that's my baby, That's all I got to say on that one.
I would have to go with Tommy. I mean, Jackal's one of them, and Trigger would probably have to be my other one. And we did put a bonus track on it. It's called Please Bleed For Me. We actually wrote that as we were in the studio working on the album, and we decided to throw that on as a bonus track. It's a little different, and
it's more like 50s doo-wop with horror.
Yeah, so it kind of changes thing up a little bit. So
you mentioned that you guys had a lot of songs written. How many more songs do you have that we could see possibly down the road?
About another 28.
Oh, geez. So we could possibly get a double disc.
Got enough for about another 3 albums.
Oh, geez.
Because what happened throughout, while we were gearing up and practicing, make sure everything was, tight and everything for the album, it was like Tommy would come in with an idea, or myself would come in with an idea, or Jamie would come in with all these lyrics and would hum, I hear this, and then, it was all, the whole creative process of, a collaborative effort. And there came a point in time where, for, 6 weeks, we were always peeling the song right out. And I'm not trying to sound cocky like that, but, that we could just peel songs out. But things were just flowing really good because we all work well together, No,
not at all. I've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of bands, I should say, during this pandemic, and they've said they've had a lot of songs written, almost like you guys, 2 to 3 albums down the road, and I'm going, geez, man, let's go back to the old days of a double disc, Some say, yeah, they'd like to do it, but others just like to say, well, we'd like to just kind of part it out and have, more albums to come out. And it's crazy on how much music is still stored away for right now.
Our plan is actually, we're going to release some of our newer stuff here as singles, 2 songs, maybe old school, like the A and the B side, So we're thinking about doing something like that, but we want to see how the album's received and go from there. I know a lot of people have been blowing us up to get hard copies, and we're working on it. So hopefully all that stuff will soon be done.
So was there a song that you guys are working on, guys, that totally ended up sounding different or took a major turn than what it first started out as?
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. I'll come in with a riff, or Corby will come in with a riff, and by the end of the day, we usually practice about 4 hours, 5 hours, and by the end of the day, the key signature is still the same, but the song sounds completely different from what we started on.
Who did the artwork for this album?
That would be Jamie.
It was Scooby-Doo inspired, Cold Blood Creep. That was the creeper from the old 1969 Scooby-Doo.
He would have got away with it had it been for them middling kids.
We are the medley kids now.
That was always my favorite thing in that cartoon. That was always my favorite thing in that cartoon. I mean, granted, I like watching it, but that was my favorite part of it because it's like, you damn meddling kids. It's like, yeah. Like that. Now, where's my damn Scooby snack?
Yeah, it's old man Withers go runs the haunted amusement park.
Yeah.
We got away with a few meddling kids.
Or the Harlem Globetrotters on there. I like when he did that stuff, when he branched out. And
the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Three Stooges.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can't forget about Fred and his ascot, the stupid scarf they wore around his neck.
Yeah.
So my question to you is Thelma hot or what?
Jinkies, yeah. What the hell kind of question's that?
With or without the glasses.
Don't matter.
Yeah, they fog up, why not,
Exactly. Now, I know you guys have been doing this for a very long time, but musically, do you see yourselves still growing musically? Does this still challenge you guys to this day, possibly?
Absolutely. Every day we come in here, we're trying to bang out better stuff. I mean, as an artist, you always want to get better, and you can always judge yourself and say, man, I wish I would have done that better. And you try to. That's what you strive for sure. Yeah.
As far as me, I'm the guitar player. I'm 51 years old, man. I'm an old head. I'm an old 80s kid. You know what I mean? Hair bands, Dee Snider, that kind of shit. And like I said, I'm 51 and I'm still striving to have fun, man. Like, I'm 51 in age, but I'm 12.
Yeah, I get that. Just like me. It's like I was talking about cartoons. I love cartoons. I like playing games online still. I love, things like that. I'm just a kid at heart, and I hope everybody is still this day.
Yeah.
Because when you're not, your life is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody needs an outlet, and music, especially, metal, heavy music, playing out, recording, the whole camaraderie, the rehearsals. It's what's, keeping me happy, I never had any other hobbies. Unless you want to count watching movies and stuff like that. But as far as like a hobby, like, everyone has numerous things. For me, it's always been music. I always been a, hard rock metal nerd, so to speak, gear nerd.
I can say this for all four of us, that Sundays are the day of the week for us, that we all look forward to Sunday, because that's when we all get together. That's when we all practice. And it's not even about the shows. The shows are fun, but Sunday is the day of the brotherhood. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what we always look forward to.
Yep.
And I got to say, just as a fan of music, it's the same for us when you guys put out a album, because we feed off what you guys put out. But it's so great that music can affect every single one of us in different ways. When you guys are creating this music and people are giving you feedback on what songs mean to them from you, how does that feel? Because as a fan, to me, there's a lot of songs that mean a lot to me and it saved my life. So what's that mean to you guys creating this music? Even though, somebody takes it in a different way that you guys meant it to be, but what's it mean to you when you guys hear this from fans, true fans that really love and dig your music?
That means everything. Goes straight to the heart. If you truly love music, having a fan say that song meant something, anything to them, good or bad even. Like if it strikes a chord with them, I mean, that's why I'm making music. It's that and, the love of it. So sure, that goes hand in hand.
As far as my thinking goes on that, and this is why I was never like big onto the CD thing, is because I never had anybody say, oh, okay, you put music out there and, oh, I like that fucking song. But when I'm on stage and I'm playing and I can look out there and I see somebody banging their head or shaking their fist, I know they're liking what I wrote. And that means everything to me. And that's why I never cared about a CD, because I'd rather see it.
And I always said that, like what Tom said, when we're playing out and we have people banging heads or yelling, with the devil horns or wherever. To me, that I see that, even if it's on a smaller level, I see that as just as much as like a success,
Exactly.
It could be 5 people out in the crowd, but some of those shows, if you're only playing to 5 people, as long as they're into it and they love what you do, to me, that's great,
That's a win.
That's a win, yeah.
Yeah, I got to agree with what these guys said. I mean, I played a lot of shows, I played out a lot, and there's nothing like getting the feedback off a live audience right away. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Looks like you guys have a show that's coming up at West York Inn, February 27th, with Single Hitter and Coffee with Lions. It looks like everything's kind of opening back up. So what are they going to expect from you guys at this show? Because they have to be a lot of feelings amped up and caged in to release at this show.
Well, it's going to be balls out, brother. Balls out.
Yeah, it goes the same for us too. I mean, not only the audience that's going to be coming, but we haven't played out in probably Halloween was our last show. And it's, we're just as amped up as they are. I mean, we're excited to see them. They're excited to see us. So it's all going to work out.
Is there a country that stands out or shocks you so far that Cold Blood Creep is getting support from, or your music is getting played in right now? Possibly. Have you seen anything to come back that kind of shocks you so far?
Germany. I actually been doing a lot of legwork here with promoting the album, getting our stuff out. And yeah, Germany, definitely. That was actually really cool.
I want to go back and talk about the producing of the album right fast. Do you guys like having the control of producing it yourself versus having a producer in-house? Or let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, the owner of the company that I work for on my day job has a studio, and he hooked us up for free, and he's a fan, and he's a great dude. It was cake. You do it until you do it right, and then he's a cool cat, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Studio 19.
We come up with a little nickname for him. We like to call him Captain Modelo. He's a hell of a guy. He does a lot for us, and we appreciate what he does for us.
He even filled in for you before I joined the picture.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when we lost our bass player, Steven stepped in, and he played bass for shows that we already had committed so we could find another bass player.
I know all of you guys had a lot of music growing up, a lot of albums, CDs, cassettes, whatever. But did you have that one album or one song that just allowed you to escape or it affected you as far as like saying things are going to be okay, this puts me in my groove? If so, what was it possibly?
Well, let's go around the room here. We'll start with Jamie, the lead singer.
I'd say Kiss, Cold Gin. Man, song does it for me.
I'm an old metalhead, so two of my favorite albums are Sodom, Agent Orange, and Motorhead, Ace of Spades.
This is Corby. That's a tough one, man, but because I mean, my answer would be how much time you have, but for the sake of, not think I'm weird or anything.
Don't let him go last.
Yeah. No. I grew up a big Kiss fan, like Jamie did, but to kind of like give this
connection.
But if I could name like two albums like that, aside from like listening one song. Ooh, I'm probably gonna have to say frickin' Diary of a Madman or the first Black Sabbath album.
Yeah.
But because they all speak to me. So.
For sure. Background.
We treat Corby like the Jason Newsted.
I was going to say that. Jason is our Jason. Corby is our Newstead.
Yeah, he is our. As far as me, there's one song that stands out for me, and it's always been that way since I've heard it, which is Regular People from Pantera, not Wham.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get the here.
That's a throat punch fucking song. Whenever I'm depressed or pissed off or even happy, that makes me even happier. Bag was God, man.
It was. I got to meet him 2 weeks before the tragic guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was in Philadelphia. Him and his brother Damage Plan, and then Shadows Fall in a Swedish thrash band called The Haunted. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I have.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands. Well, at the end of the night, Shadows Fall closed it, and we're at the Trocadero, me and my buddy, and we walked up to the upper bar, and then Dimebag was there. Got the picture taken, and then before you know it, that Dime Vision DVD, there's my picture with him in there, and that was probably when I discovered that was the case. It's probably like closest to a heart attack I've ever, encountered because all the chaos of Columbus, Ohio, that kind of what got destroyed or some shit like that.
I got to meet Vinnie Paul at Louder in Life because I covered Louder in Life every year. But I got to meet Vinnie Paul. It was just a quick picture. Say, hey, man, I dig your music, and he appreciated it, and I let him be. I'm not going to smother somebody like that. But, yeah, I got to meet Vinnie Paul.
I spent 4 hours on a bus with David Lee Roth doing coke.
Hey, now, that was part of getting started.
That was in my 20s. I'm retired now.
And you also did shots with Ace Frehley too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, you did.
I have interviewed everybody from Pantera except for Dime. Unfortunately, that's never going to happen. So, it sucks. We lost him way too early. We lost Cliff Burton way too early. We lost a lot of people way too early.
Man.
So,
yeah. So, And the thing about me and Dime is that like everything that you've seen in like those Pantera home videos, the first 3 ones. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you get talking to him, you forget that he's like the mighty Dimebag. You know what I mean? Like he's
a down to earth dude.
Yeah,
sure.
Very no rock star bullshit. And there's a couple seconds I forgot that was Dimebag, and I'm just talking to one of my musician buddies about Randall Amps or whatever we were talking about at the time. Very good guy, man. He was like they always say, man. They always pick the good ones, and that definitely traveled.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Cold Blood Creep's new self-titled album. It's out right now. Go pick it up. Guys, how can folks stay in touch with you, buy some merchandise, all this good stuff, this new self-titled album? How can they do that?
You can get a hold of us on Facebook. The CD is through all major digital platforms, Spotify, Amazon,
iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora. Every digital outlet you can go to, you can get it.
And before I let you go, would you care, one of you or all of you guys at one time, just say, hey, this is Cold Blood Creep, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour?
Yes, sir. We can definitely do that.
Hey, this is Cold Blood Creep, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great interviews coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. And BODS Mayhem Hour Podcast, please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has all of our links and socials, and we are all over the place. And do not forget to subscribe to our Facebook page because you want to keep up with everything that we're doing here. Also, get out and get Cold Blood Creep's self-titled debut album. You will not be disappointed. Guys, as always, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. You're always welcome on here, and hey, man, just keep what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.